Hey guys, this is Matt with Dirtbagger. I've been doing some work on the Boss Haas. I'll discuss a little bit of it. I'm gonna go on a quick little ride. You guys have seen it with the Harley. I don't expect to be as fast and as crazy on the Boss Haas. It just doesn't handle that way. And we'll discuss some of it. It's doing better, but I've still got some more tuning and some tweaking to do to it to get it where I really want it. All right, let's get on the road. Well, as I said, we've done this ride before. It's just the first time we've done any kind of ride like this with the Boss. So we're still riding dirty. I had some issues at the DMV licensing it. I think I got it worked out. I just got to have a day off to get to the DMV when they're open. They're no longer open on weekday or on weekends, so it makes it kind of hard. On the way back from that, I blew an alternator belt. So some of the previous videos you could hear it squealing. It had the complete wrong size belt on it, and I had to go through 4 different belts to even find one that fit it. It was kind of crazy, but the one I found is more than twice the thickness and twice the depth and everything of what the one that was on it when I purchased the bike. So now no more squealing and squeaking on the alternator, which that makes it nice. I've got new plugs and wires on it. That's been a little bit of an ordeal as well. Shouldn't have been, but it is. So just, what can you do sometimes, you know? So yeah, been working on it. I got the rear suspension raised up. It was completely lowered down. I had maybe a half an inch of ground or movement in the rear suspension. I'm up to about 1.5 inches. I need to crank it up some more, but I need to get the bike lifted up in order to crank it up. I got the, if you guys noticed, just the walk around videos that it had white turn signals facing backwards. I got those changed out, so now that they're red, the proper color. Yeah, so it's just a number of little things that's got to be worked out on the bike. Something else, the Vegas pictures, the videos in Vegas, I burned myself on it. So if you can see down both sides, my legs pretty much rest on the valve covers, and I got 2nd and 3rd degree. My camera mount's getting loose. Oh, hey, the deer's out here waiting for us again. Yeah, I've got 2nd and 3rd degree burns on both of the inside of my knees because of the heat. So I got to figure out, do I need to do something to spread my legs wider, or do I need to get some kind of guards or wear my chaps or something most of the time when I ride this bike? I'm feeling like it's probably going to be some kind of guards or chaps to probably deal with it, because my legs just don't spread that much wider than they already are. So yeah, I'm having a love-hate relationship with the bike. It's bit me, and it didn't come as, it needs more work than I was kind of planning on. I knew it needed some when I picked it up, but it's just been kind of frustrating finding some of the parts for it. So even like the plug wires, I ordered MSD plug wires. Should be good quality, should be a crate inch, it shouldn't be a big deal. 2 of the wires didn't fit. They weren't long enough to reach the front of the engine from what, and they were, I ordered the ones designed to be ran and done the way I've got it set up. So I don't know what the problem is. So suspension wise, I said I need to come up. The front suspension is rock hard. The only time it gives is when I'm under really hard braking or a really hard bump. Most of the time it just doesn't move. I can put the brakes on and pump on it, and it's just not gonna, do it. I'm trying to be real respectful and keep this as quiet as I can until I get away from that horse. So I'm not real sure what to do on the suspension, the front suspension particularly. The rear, I'm going to try cranking it up and see if it does better. The other option there that I'm seeing online, which the information on this bike is very limited. The number I seen for the 502 Boss Haas is 460 were produced. So there's not a lot of information out on it. So there's a lot of trial and error, like I was saying. But I can put on the rear spring, or on the rear suspension, I can have the springs changed out to what is it, 500-pound springs, and that would probably be a bit nicer, especially with my weight. but for now I'm just going to crank it up, crank them higher, farther up, and see what they would do. Said it's helped out a bit, and then I'm dealing with trying a couple different tire pressures and stuff to see if that helps out too as well. Once I get it where I'm feeling like it's a little more reliable and a little more comfortable, I am thinking about putting saddlebags on it. I'm the dirt bagger. How can I have a bike without bags on it? But the bags would make it so much easier for doing some touring with. I don't know if I'll tour a ton with this bike all the time, because the leg width thing is not very comfortable and there's not a lot of room to move my legs around. And then the fuel economy is about half of the Harley. So if I'm going to go across country or something, it's going to have to be something special to take this bike, just because the fuel economy is so rough on it. I thought it was going to get close to 30. Well, yes, that's for the smaller engines and the LSs with the fuel economy. The 502 with this carburetor, I've been getting 17 or so with it. When it's tuned up, I should get between all the way set it, because I don't think we're done tuning on it. It was going to be between 20 and 25 miles per gallon. That's kind of costly. So last night we were talking about, okay, doing a tour with it, because I got to do some vacation time here pretty soon. And I was thinking, well, shoot, let's take it across country. Let's go to Florida like I did in February. It would cost me, what'd we figure out, almost $2,500 in gas, let alone lodging and everything else. Oh, I forgot about the construction up here. But yeah, so I'm not sure I'd do that. I got some ideas. I want to take it. I want to do long trips on it, because I love doing long trips and building the memories with the bike. And so might play with the idea of taking it to Baja, Mexico, or go do a ride up the coast with it if I can get it situated out. But that just is going to be dependent on a lot of things. Money wise, I did spend a lot on this bike, and it took a lot of my savings in order to purchase it. So funds are a little tight right now to be able to do a lot of the bigger repairs or modifications that I want to do. And that goes with the long trip vacations. Until I get some stuff situated, and it'll be a few months, money's going to be a little more tight. And the more I ride it, the more tires I need and the more gas I need. And we'll go through both those in a hurry. So since I did the plugs and wires, it's still bouncing at idle, but it's not as bad, and the crackling isn't as loud and as crazy as it was. So there is a benefit there. So yeah, I mean, there's just a few things with it. I mean, it's not a big deal. The bike's 22 years old. The guy I bought it from pretty much looked like all he did was ride it around town. You know, look at the suspension, look at the lights, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not what I intend to use the bike for. See, sitting here like this, my legs are getting really hot. So it'll be fun. I'm going to turn this off while we sit here and wait for this construction, and I'll turn it back on when we get through it and get on a little bit better road. So something else that's made it hard is that it's been snowing up here. We've already had a couple of snows this year. We don't normally get snow this early, and we don't normally get a lot, but it's limited down, especially when this thing is so cold-blooded. They don't come with chokes. So it doesn't like to start up. The tune-up has helped. It started up a lot easier today, but yeah, again, I still got a little bit more work to do to get it finished, to work out the rest of it. It'll be fun, but yeah, let's ride for a little bit. Yeah, I gotta watch that speedometer. It goes up quick. So it's got two gears, first and second, and from what I see, it's first is the one you can really play in, and second is basically just an overdrive to go cruising. So you don't want to shift it when it's revved out really high and hard and be hard on that second gear. I should have known that was a weak link in the bike, and it's got a couple. But yeah, I got that one scares me a little bit, because from what I hear, and again, it's hard to find parts and quotes and prices for these without calling people and being serious, but the transmission's like $10,000. I don't have it right now, so if I lost the transmission, it would just have to be parked until I could save the money, and it would be a while. But so I need to behave and be careful with it. I did find out today, because I hadn't checked the tire pressures. I've only ridden it 3 times since I've had it. This is the 4th ride. The tire pressures were extremely low on it, and I kept feeling like when I was doing low speed stuff that it felt like it was out of the tires were low, and I thought it was just that automatic transmission, but guess what, the tires were low. I currently do have a motorcycle tire on the back. I am going to try a car tire. They're about 1/3 of the price. So, and they say they last twice or 3 times as long, depending on if I'm doing burnouts and stuff. So yeah, I will definitely give a car tire a try. If I just hate the way it corners, I'm just going to go back and I'll deal with this, or deal with the expense of the motorcycle tire and just behave myself with it. Maybe. I mean, it's addicting to pull that right throttle and just go. I want to do more of a video about a lot of the questions. Every time I stop somewhere, somebody walks up and they all have questions about this bike. So I don't want to get into all the details about the specifications and stuff with the bike. For handling, so like through the little twisty road right there, if you guys watch when I ride my Harley fairly hard. This won't go through the corners that fast. Maybe when I get the suspension worked out a little more, it'll be better, but currently I would say it would keep up with the 90% of most Harley riders, because most Harley riders don't push their bikes. So this being pushed more towards its top end on the lady, I could have done more to avoid it, but she never even looked over at all. So yeah, I'm gonna play with that. But yeah, I think I could take it, and I could probably ride most Harley rides. The place that it gets me in trouble, and I have dropped it once, the weight, trying to do slow speed maneuvers, just go straight like this, easy. To get it to turn, it's got such a long wheelbase, it does not turn. It just refuses compared to a regular bike. So it can get me in trouble there. Dropping it, it's got a reverse on it. Whoa. That does not get old. So dropping it, I pulled into a parking lot, I did a tight turn, had the handlebars slightly turned, downhill to my right, and I needed to put my right foot down in order to shift the bike into reverse. Had a passenger on the back, first time I had a passenger on this bike, and I couldn't hold the bike up on that right foot and get the bike to shift to reverse, so I dropped it. No big deal. It hits the pegs and it sits on the pegs as long as it's not moving fast. If it's moving fast, it can dump over and get into the tank and the bars. But to drop it at a slow speed is not a big deal. Picking up was simple. It really does. I need to demonstrate that for you guys. The one thing that it did do that I did not like on that is that the overflow tube on the gas tank spilled gas all over the place. And that's just part of the design. I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to make that have a loop like we do on the dirt bikes or something, or the old school dirt bikes. And make it where it's not so sensitive, because it does that too with overfilling the tank. You can't top it off all the way. You have to leave probably 2-3 inches on the side empty or it'll overflow. So that was the only big deal with dropping it. So one of my modifications I eventually want to make, either I'll learn to live with the bike, or I want to get a jockey shifter over here so that I can have both feet on the ground if I need to, and get the bike in reverse, or get it into gear if I'm on a hill. So yeah, that's about a couple of things. Overall, I'm loving it, but I said her and I are having growing pains. She's bit me. I've got cuts and scratches all over my hands from her. I've got burns on both of my legs from her. I've got a bruised ego from dropping her in the parking lot, and it was a very busy parking lot. Let's let him get out. We'll punch it a little harder. Yeah, so, but overall, I'm loving it. And so my neighbors, I don't think love it because it's so loud and it's so cold, or cold's harder to get started up when I need to go out. Just don't stop pulling. The speedometer is off. I've learned that the other day when I was on the freeway for the DMV. I was running GPS on the phone because I just felt like my speedometer wasn't matching what traffic was doing. But I'll see if I can fix it. If not, I know what it's off. That's my secret. For the neighbor situation, I've looked into and thought about, I haven't gone deep into it, about maybe trying to put some slight mufflers on it. There's not much space underneath it without going back to the swing arm to do it, and I'm not real happy about that. But I need to talk with a few fab shops or muffler shops to see what they might be able to come up with, just to quiet it down just enough. It's not really louder than a loud hardly, but it's a different tone and a different everything, and it's such a thunderous thing when you start it in person. And that thunderous start is what I'm worried about with my neighbors. Nobody's complained to me yet, but a lot of them aren't willing to come talk to me in person about it. They would bitch and cry and complain and cause problems behind my back. It's really sad how bad people can't handle business nowadays. They have to go do stupid shit instead of handling it. But hell, that's another, well, excuse me, that was a whole nother subject. So well, shit, I'm gonna shut my mouth, let you see the asses over there. Well, one's a cow, one's an ass. And cruise up this. Said I'll have to take it a little easy compared to what I normally do, but enjoy. balloon.
I think I ran out of gas. I did. It went to the auxiliary tank and it turned on, and that's why I ran out of gas. I ran out of gas in my bottom tank. And that's one of the things I don't like where the switch is. I've had that happen a couple times now where I've hit that switch and run off that bottom tank, and then I don't have my reserve like I'm supposed to. Damn it. Okay, well, not a big deal though, because it could have been, but it's not. Alright, well, that's pretty much the end of the ride anyways. I'll probably let you guys go. Thank you for riding with me. Thanks for checking out the Boss Haas. The amount of people that have been watching the videos is incredible. I need to get the subscriber count up and hopefully monetize this one of these days.
that would be an amazing thing to get done, and that would definitely help on the tire and gas fund on this thing. So if you guys could hit that subscribe button, it would greatly be appreciated. And we'll catch you guys another day, hopefully soon.